Hi boys and girls, we are working in our new math packet today. Actually, our math packet is inside our larger e-learning packet. So I need you to get out your e-learning packet and I'd like you to turn to the math section. Today we'll be working on week 2. We're on week 2, day 3. Week 2, day 3. Let's go ahead and get started. The kids in Mrs. Nelson's class did a survey of all the second grade classes to find out about the kids' favorite pets. Now, when you do a survey, that's like taking a vote. So what Miss Nelson's class did is they took a vote to see what the favorite pet was of all the second grade students. Use their chart to help answer the questions below. Now, we can call this chart over here to our right, we can call it a chart or we can call it a table. You'll see it called both. The table or the chart always has a title. The title of this chart is second grade favorite pets. That means that inside of this chart, it's going to be all about the second grade favorite pets. As you can see, the number of kids that like fish were 17. The number of second graders that liked birds were 8. 45 students liked cats. 62 second graders liked dogs. We're going to use that information to help us answer question A. How many more kids liked fish? Okay, see 17 kids liked fish. How many more students liked fish than liked birds? All right, I'm going to zoom in so that you can see how I am solving this. Now there's a couple different ways. There's actually several different ways that I can solve this. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at my information. I've got 17 students that like fish. I've got 8 students that like birds. How many more liked fish than birds? Okay, this is a how many more question. Down here, I drew 17 little dots. Those are my fish, okay? These little dots are my fish lovers. That means 17 people liked fish. Okay, those are my fish lovers, those 17 little dots. Down here, I drew my bird lovers. All the bird lovers got stars. I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there are 17 fish lovers and 8 bird lovers. How many more people liked fish? You see how many more their fish are? This many more like fish. Okay, see how they're both the same up until this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then all these extra people liked fish. How many more is that? Okay, how many more liked fish than liked birds? Well, there is 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more, 5 more, 6 more, 7 more, 8 more, 9 more. So there are 9 more students. There are 9 more students that liked fish than liked birds. Okay, so we're going to go back to our worksheet. For number 1A, we will write 9 more. 9 more. Let mine pop up in just a second. You can go ahead and start taking your pencil down for 1A. Write 9 more students. Maybe. Where are we at? There we go. 9 more students liked fish than birds. All right, next question. B, how many more kids like dogs than cats? So I'm going to erase my board. So for part B, we need to describe how many more kids like dogs than cats best. So let me zoom in so I can show you what I'm going to do to figure that out. There are 62 students that like dogs and there are 45 students that like cats. Another way that we can solve this instead of drawing pictures, because this would take a lot of pictures if I were to draw 62 little cats and 45 little cats and 62 little dogs. So instead I'm going to choose to solve it like this. This is a how many more problem, which means in the problem they ask how many more like dogs than cats, okay? So how many extra do the dogs have than the cats? How many extra do we have for the dogs than we have for the cats? One way we can do that is by subtracting. We can take the number of cats, which is the bigger number, and subtract, or I'm sorry, the number of dogs, which is the bigger number, and subtract the number of cats by it. We start by looking at our ones. If I have 2 ones, there's no way I can take away 5 because I only have 2. I don't have 5. So I have to look next door in the tens place. I'm going to cross out the 6 tens because I need to steal a 10, which would give me 5 left. The reason why I'm stealing a 10 is because I'm breaking it apart and giving myself 10 extra little ones. Okay, so now I've got, I wrote it really small. I wrote plus 10, okay? So now I've got 10 little tiny ones over here because I stole a 10. I've got 10 ones plus the 2 I already had. 10 plus 2 is 12. Let me go over that one more time. The way that I was able to get some more ones for myself is to look next door and steal a 10. And when I stole that 10, I was able to trade it in for 10 ones. 10 ones plus the 2 I already had gave me 12. Now I'm ready to take away. 12, take away 5. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 12 take away 5 is 7. 5 take away 4 is 1. So how many extra dog lovers were there than cat lovers? There were 17 extra dog lovers. Okay. We could also say there were 17 more dog lovers. So we're going to go back to our page and we're going to write 17 more dog lovers. All right, we're on to the next problem. The next problem is a little different. We are going to try to figure out, where's that eraser? We're going to try to figure out what numbers go in the boxes. Okay, let's see here. I'm just drawing it really quickly on my board. This looks like it is a subtraction problem, and I'm going to walk you through how I get this answer. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay. All right, I have to figure out what numbers do I need to put in all the boxes to get me the answer 39. Well, the 9 down here, this is a subtraction problem. So the only thing that I could do that would get me 9, okay, the only thing that I could subtract that would give me 9, let's see, is if I started with 0 up here. Okay, if I start with 0 up there, if I start with 5 right here, let's see what happens. If I start with 50, and I take away 1 1 and 1 10. Okay, let's try to solve for this now. We've got 50 minus 11. Let's just look at our ones. 0 minus 1. If I have 0 donuts, I cannot give you 1. So I've got to look next door and I've got to take away one of these 10s that we have, okay? Because I need some more 1s, right? So I've got to take away a 10. When I take away a 10, that leaves me with 4 10s left. And now I've got 10 1s, okay? I've got 10 1s over here. Because 1 10 is the same thing as 10 1s. So I just traded in a 10 so that I can get 10 1s. Okay, so now I've got 10 1s. 10 take away 1 is 9. 4 take away 1 is 3. So our answer, 50 minus 11 is 39. Okay, so that one was a little tricky, so I walked through that with you. So go ahead and fill that in on your worksheet, and you'll need to remember that when you're filling it in, you're going to want to cross out the 10, make yourself a new 4, or cross out the 5, make yourself new 4 up top because you got rid of one of your 10s. You'll need to cross out your 0 1s and replace it with 10 1s since you stole a 10 and traded it in for some more 1s. Okay, so we'll write that in. I can't cross off on my computer, but I can go ahead and write the 5 in there. In my ones, this was a 0. I took away 110, and I took away 1. All right, the last one we will be doing today is involving some shapes. It says if you had to pick one of these pictures or objects that doesn't belong with the rest, which one would you pick and why? So we have to be able to pick one that doesn't belong with the rest, and we have to explain it, why we chose that. If I had to pick one of these that doesn't quite belong with the rest, I'm looking at each one. I'm noticing that the star has straight lines. You see how that's straight lines? There are no curves in the star. I'm noticing that the shape that looks very similar to a stop sign, it's not the exact same shape as a stop sign, but it does look somewhat similar. Even this shape, it looks a little circular, but actually all of the lines are perfectly straight. If you see, they're connected at the corners or angles, and they're all perfectly straight. So we've got the star that has all straight lines. We've got this stop sign looking shape that also has all straight lines, and this arrow. Look at these lines, no curves, all straight lines that meet at angles or corners. Now, that changes when I look at this heart. When I look at this heart, I see nothing but curved lines, okay? Right here and right here they meet, okay, at points or at angles, but we have no straight lines. So if I had to choose one object that doesn't quite fit with the rest, I would end up choosing the heart. And that's because all the other shapes and objects have straight lines and this one does not. If you had to pick one other object to get rid of because it doesn't belong with the rest, which would you choose? So this is a tough one. I'm going to let you take a look, dive right in, stare at those shapes, and try to decide if you had to pick another object that doesn't belong. I already said we'd get rid of the heart. What other object would not belong? So we've got the star left, we've got the arrow, and we've got the stop sign looking shape as well. Which one do you think we could get rid of because it doesn't belong with the other two as well? All right, friends, that is it for today's math, and I will see you tomorrow.